everybody, welcome back to the 100 Movies Bucket List series here on CM42 TV. I'm saying those words for the first time in months, and that means the first time of 2019. 2018, when we started this series, just seems like a lifetime ago. We started back in, I believe it was November, might have been October, I'm not sure, but within those months, in the later half of 2018, I recorded 7 movie reviews of 100. And now this is number 8, I believe. I hope I'm right there, I think I am. And I kind of like the fact that it was so spaced out, because that's the point in this series. I'm not going to rush it, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to watch the films when I want to watch them, you know. If I'm going to try and cram all 100 films from the 100 Movies Bucket List poster into, say, 100 days or a couple months, it's going to be forced, unnatural, not genuine, you know. So I'm going to do it whenever I watch the films, whenever I'm in the mood to watch the films, and then I'll film these whenever I'm ready to talk about the film, you know. Because then it's just more like, it's more fun, more relaxing. So expect this series to go on for a while, maybe not even by the end of the year. But this is number 8 of the 100 Movies Bucket List series, and it is from an amazing, amazing movie. I've just given away the game. Let's just get that out of the road here. The film I'm going to talk about is feckin' awesome, and it is the 1973 classic Enter the Dragon. Now, Enter the Dragon has been on my list, my to-watch list, for absolute donkeys, man. Ages. Absolutely ages. Just because it's a film I always thought I'd really like, and I've always kind of fancied. But then also, one of my favourite films of all time, in fact, one of my favourite trilogies of all time, are the Rush Hour films, right? I talk about them all the time. And the director of Rush Hour, Brett Ratner, his favourite movie of all time is Enter the Dragon, and he said, "There's I got the Rush Hour trilogy on Blu-ray. I'm pointing at it there. That's why I pointed over there. I got the Rush Hour trilogy for my birthday, maybe last year, 2 years ago, and yeah, last year I think. And on there is basically like a commentary of all 3 films with just Brett Ratner, which was awesome because I'm not a big sort of commentary guy with films. So the fact it was just him, I thought it was a nice way to kind of break me into kind of commentaries and stuff. Since then I've watched ones from Star Wars and Back to the Future and that sort of thing. But that was the first real audio commentary for a film that I'd watched all the way through. And considering the fact I know all 3 films really, really well, what I did was I watched the film and then I watched it again with the commentary with Brett Ratner. And it was just him, and he was able to talk about his love for Enter the Dragon and stuff like that. And basically what he said was that his first film that he made was Money Talks, which stars Chris Tucker. And his favourite film of all time is Enter the Dragon, which has Jackie Chan in it in a small sort of role. And he said his perfect film would be a mixture of his first film and his favourite film, and then he created Rush Hour, which has got Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan as the 2 leads, obviously. So that's Rush Hour, but I just kind of want to talk about the inspiration for me wanting to watch this film. And I've always heard of Enter the Dragon. It's always been the one that I've kind of thought that'd be, you know, the martial arts film that I'd maybe like. You always hear about Bruce Lee, you know, being a sort of trailblazing, eyebrow-raising, don't know, I can't do it, you know, a fighting action star of all time, you know, being Bruce Lee. And I didn't realise he died right after this film, essentially, or later that the year this film was released in 1973, or maybe 1974, because that's when it was released in the UK, which is very important information. I thought Bruce Lee was, you know, around until maybe the 90s or something, because he's so revolutionary. You hear about him all the time. In every sort of fighting film, any sort of martial arts expert or something brings up Bruce Lee, and rightfully so, because he's extremely charismatic and he's extremely popular and extremely, you know, successful in all of his films. But this was the first Bruce Lee film I properly watched. I'd seen clips, obviously, here and there. I remember, it's so weird, I remember being in like over in some family's house one time, years and years and years ago, and I was talking about Rush Hour, funnily, and some guy that was there that I'm not really that close to, but he was like insisting on showing me videos of Bruce Lee. That's kind of where I got, you know, that's how I knew about him years ago. And this is kind of said to be his kind of best film, his you know, most well-known film, his most successful film in America, that sort of thing. And yeah, it's just awesome. It's just exactly what I expected. It's exactly what I like in that sort of film, you know. Straight to the point. There's some really, really, really serious bits, obviously, but then again, it doesn't take itself too seriously. And what I loved about this film so much, and it's a thing that I go on about a lot, especially in this series that I have mentioned before in this series, in these movie reviews, is that I don't like films that just kind of lollygag about and just kind of stall, you know, when they don't have to. Examples being Gladiator, for example. Russell Crowe's like, tomorrow I'm going to go there and I'm going to do this. And then you don't see what he does for another maybe hour. That kind of stuff frustrates me in films. This film, however, Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee is kind of like, but the story is that he is an amazing fighter, and he is like recruited to go over to this island to compete in this martial arts tournament, but he's really there to kind of suss out the kind of leader of this island, who people in the sort of police and that sort of thing are kind of suspicious about, who might be holding drugs, prisoners, prostitutes, that sort of thing, and Bruce Lee goes over to kind of do some interrogating. So basically, like, Bruce Lee will say something like, yes, I will go to the island. And then the next scene, he's at the island. And I'm like, don't, that's perfect. It's no, like, waiting about. It gets straight to the point. There's so many points in the film that are just like boom, 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 and snappy. Compared to other films, it's just kind of like, right, get on with it sort of thing. This film had none of that, which was awesome and totally ideal. The film's still on for like an hour 40. It's not as if it makes the film any shorter. It's proof that it can be done, and it can be done really well. Another thing I loved about this film, and the first time that I've ever seen a film like this, is basically the film was recorded with no microphones. It was recorded with no sound, right? So although the actors and stuff are still saying the words and are still doing the actions for the fighting and stuff, none of the sound is picked up or whatever. And everything, sound effects, punching shots, fighting things, fighting sounds, speech, grunts, coughs, everything was dubbed in afterwards, right? And maybe that was a big thing back in the 70s, I don't know, I just never have experienced a film like that, so I put it on. So basically it was on TV one time, ITV2 or something, and I recorded it because I saw it and I was like flashing lights, you know what I mean? I was like, record please, can't wait to see it. And then I put it on, and then obviously it was a few weeks ago that I recorded it, and it took me a few weeks to watch it anyway. I put it on and it was all like weird dubbing, you know, and you get used to it obviously as the film goes on, but just because I'd never heard of it like that before, I'm sitting watching it, I'm thinking I'm, you know, watching some mad random version, like a totally like redubbed version of Enter the Dragon, and I'm thinking I don't want to watch a fake version, you know what I mean? I want to watch the original Bruce Lee classic. And I've done some homework on IMDb and stuff, and yeah, it's right there. Yeah, everything was recorded afterwards. It was recorded with no sound, and I don't know why. I don't know why that is. Maybe it was just because it's something they wanted to do, you know, at the time. Maybe it's because it's a predominantly, you know, foreign cast, you know. They wanted to make sure that the speech was really clear. I don't know, but everybody in this film is really, really good, and just like, again, just straight to the point. There's no messing about. You know exactly how people are feeling, and the action's great. It's got such a good tone to it. It flows really, really well. It is one of the best martial arts films I've ever seen in my life, and that's honest. It's just so good. Jackie Chan, of course, as I said earlier, has a really small role in this film, and he is one of the guys that Bruce Lee is kind of fighting through to get to the bottom of what he's looking for. And one scene, he actually connects with Jackie Chan in the face, and he felt so bad, Bruce Lee, he felt so bad that he hit Jackie Chan in the face, and he insisted that every single one of his films going forward, Jackie Chan needs to be involved somehow. And unfortunately, this was his last film ever made because he died shortly after. So that promise was never followed up on because Jackie Chan was unable to be in any more of those films because Bruce Lee was unable to make any more because of his sad, untimely passing. So, but yeah, there you go, Enter the Dragon, so good. Definitely one of the best films I've seen for the bucket list poster so far. Thumbs up, definitely deserves to be on there. Definitely deserves to be watched by everybody. It's just good for, you know, a film to put on in the afternoon. It could be one that you're trying to stay up late to watch. It'll keep you up, you know, it won't put you to sleep at all. It's something really interesting to watch a film like this with the sound being dubbed and stuff like that, and just a classic sort of cult 70s film. The film is very 70s though, it is kind of dated, but I'm quite good at going into a film knowing when the film was released, you know, and kind of going and kind of taking it with a pinch of salt and going, okay, this was made in 1973, so it's not going to be as well edited, and, you know, the acting is going to be a little bit cheesy and stuff, but you totally get used to it. It's kind of refreshing to see sometimes that style of filmmaking, that sort of acting, and it's just fun. It's such a fun film to watch. Again, it's really easy to watch. It's got a nice flow to it. It's charming. It's kind of funny at points. It's dramatic at points. The fighting is amazing, you know, the stunts and stuff. So yeah, Enter the Dragon. Big thumbs up here on the 100 Movies Bucket List poster, and tune in next time as I divulge in another classic film on the 100 Movies Bucket List poster.